I discovered Triple R really late in life, or late-ish. I often hear stories about presenters who discovered Triple R at 12 years of age and were, kind of hooked from then. However, I found it just when I needed to find it. So I was probably 17, a bit of a punk, and was having a bit of a music revolution in my life. I'd finally discovered the Stooges, which were this huge band for me. Like one of those bands that you go, oh, they maybe changed the course of my life. That was the Stooges for me. And I began listening to other music like the Pixies and, just all that stuff you kind of first discover when you discover alternative music, I suppose, in your late teens. And I had seen Triple R stickers around town on the backs of cars, and I had friends who listened to it, but I'd never really engaged. And then one day I was really bored, and I remember fiddling with the dial, and I came across Pixies Subculture, and I was like, what station is playing Pixies Subculture? There's no stations that I'm to, because they wouldn't know what I know. I'm cool. And then it was Triple R, and I just kind of stuck. And from there, it just opened up this whole world to me. So yeah, I kind of wasn't listening to my mid-teens and stuff, but later on, I discovered it and it was hooked. Yeah. So I present Breakfasters now, which is crazy for me because I spent a lot of my teenage years, the later half of my teenage years, listening to Breakfasters in my 20s. And the person that I most identify with Breakfasters in my era was Phoebe Squared. And when I did a couple of graveyard fills, I got offered a fill for the summer fairly soon, and I was just shitting myself because it was for Maps, which was Phoebe Squared's new show after she'd finished up on Breakfasters. And I remember thinking, I can't stuff this up because this is Fee's show and everyone loves Fee so much. And I remember thinking how surreal it was to be sitting in the seat of this person that I'd listened to my whole life and kind of admired. And she contacted me whilst I was doing Maps or after I was doing Maps and said something like, oh, you're doing a really good job. And I was like, oh, Phoebe Squares contacted me. It was so rad. And just said I was doing a good job, and that meant the world to me. Triple R Radiothon, a jewel in the junk heap. Subscribe and support community radio.